The Roth conversion mistake to avoid at Fidelity. One little checkbox on the Fidelity transfer screen can quietly cost you more than $50,000 in retirement. And here's the strange part. Almost everyone who does a Roth conversion clicks it. It looks helpful. It even feels responsible. But it's the single most expensive mistake I see people make with their own money, and the fix takes about 30 seconds. You might think a Roth conversion is simple. Move the money, pay the tax, done. But there is a wrong way to pay that tax, and that wrong way follows you for the next 20 or 30 years. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which box to leave unchecked, whether you should even be converting in the first place. And I'll take you inside the real Fidelity screen where this goes wrong, so you can see it with your own eyes. Most people get this backwards. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Quick definition first, because this only makes sense if we're on the same page. A Roth conversion is when you take money out of a traditional IRA, money you've never paid tax on, and move it into a Roth IRA. The moment you do that, the IRS treats the converted amount as income, so you owe ordinary income tax on it that year. In exchange, that money now grows tax-free for the rest of your life, and you never pay tax on it again. No taxes on the growth, no required withdrawals, and your heirs inherit it tax-free too. So the whole point of a conversion is simple. Pay a known tax bill today to buy a lifetime of tax-free growth, which means the one thing you never want to do is shrink the pile you're trying to make tax-free. Hold that thought, because that's exactly what the mistake does. Here it is, plainly. The mistake is paying the conversion tax out of the IRA itself. When you set up the conversion at Fidelity, the screen offers you an option to withhold taxes right there, a box you can check to send part of the money straight to the IRS to cover what you'll owe. And it looks like the smart, grown-up thing to do. Handle the tax now. Don't get surprised in April. Who wouldn't want that? But look at what actually happens. Say you convert $25,000 and check the box to withhold 24% for taxes. $6,000 never lands in your Roth. It goes to the IRS. Only $19,000 actually makes it into the account you are trying to grow tax-free. You didn't avoid the tax. You paid it out of the very pocket that was supposed to compound for the next 30 years. That's the trap. The withholding box feels responsible, but it quietly guts the account. And there's a sharper sting hiding underneath. If you're under 59 and a half, that withheld money isn't treated as a conversion at all. It's treated as an early withdrawal, which means a 10% penalty on top of the regular tax. So you could hand the IRS its cut and get fined for the privilege of handing it over. This is the part people screenshot, because most folks have clicked that box without anyone ever telling them what it costs. Now, on the surface, you might think, it's only $6,000, and I owed the tax anyway. True. You do owe the tax either way. That part is not the mistake. The mistake is where the money comes from, and what that dollar would have done if you'd left it alone. Every dollar you pull out of the IRA to cover the tax is a dollar that stops compounding tax-free. Forever. It's not a one-time $6,000 hit. It's $6,000 that will never turn into 12 and never turn into 24. You didn't just pay a tax bill. You fired one of your best employees before they ever got to work. Say it with me, because this is the whole video in one sentence. The mistake isn't the tax. You pay that no matter what. The mistake is taking it from the wrong pocket. Do this once and it stings a little. Do it every year for 10 years, on every conversion, and the damage stacks up into real money. I'll put exact numbers on the screen in a few minutes. A real couple, same starting balance, two very different endings. Stick around for that. So here's the fix, and it really is this simple. Pay the tax from cash, from your checking account or a taxable brokerage account, not from the IRA. Leave the withholding box unchecked, convert the full amount, and settle the tax bill separately with money that was already outside your retirement accounts. That way, every single converted dollar lands in the Roth and keeps working. You pay the exact same tax. You just pay it from a pocket that wasn't going to grow tax-free anyway. 30 seconds of thought, tens of thousands of dollars saved. That's the trade. But before you rush off to convert everything you own, there's a second mistake that's quieter and, frankly, more important. And it's the opposite of what most finance channels will tell you. Some people shouldn't convert at all. I mean that. If your IRA is on the modest side and the required withdrawals down the road are going to land you in a low tax bracket anyway, then converting now and voluntarily paying tax you might never have owed at a higher rate can be the wrong move. Sometimes doing nothing is the smartest thing you can do. Anyone who tells you everyone should convert is selling something. So run a quick bracket test before you touch anything. Think of it like a traffic light. Green light. If this conversion keeps you inside the 12% bracket, convert. That's cheap tax, and it rarely gets cheaper than that. Yellow light. If you're pushing into the 22% bracket, slow down and do the math. It can still be worth it, but only if the numbers actually work for your situation. Red light. If you're up into the 24% bracket, or a big conversion would shove your income over the Medicare surcharge line, that's IRMAA, and the threshold sits up in the low 200,000s for a couple, though it adjusts every year, so check the current figure. Stop. At that point, you may be paying more today than you'd ever save, and you can quietly raise your own Medicare premiums 2 years later for nothing. Green, convert. Yellow, do the math. Red, stop. Keep that light in your head every single time. All right, let me show you the actual screen. This is the part no other channel bothers to do, and it's the part that saves you. Log in and go to Accounts and Trade, then Transfers. You'll pick your traditional IRA as the from account and your Roth IRA as the to account. If you don't have a Roth open yet, Fidelity will let you open one right there in a couple of minutes. You need it before you can convert into it. Now, this next screen, this is where the mistake lives. Right here is the Withhold Taxes option we talked about. This is the box. Leave it unchecked. Do not have Fidelity withhold tax from the conversion. I know it feels wrong to walk past it. Walk past it anyway. You're going to pay this tax from cash instead, so every dollar stays in the Roth. Choose how much to convert. You can do it in dollars or in shares. If you're holding something like a total market or S&P 500 index fund, an FSKAX or an FXAIX, those convert cleanly, so you're not stuck waiting on a trade to settle. And you don't have to convert everything at once. Partial conversions are completely allowed, and they're often the smarter play because they let you stay inside that green light. Then set aside the tax separately. Whether you pay it as a quarterly estimated payment or square up at tax time, that money comes from checking or brokerage, not from this account. One last timing tip. Do your conversions in the second half of the year. By then, you've got a much clearer picture of your total income, which means you can convert right up to the top of your target bracket without accidentally spilling over into the next one. Real quick, before I show you the dollars, if this is already saving you from a mistake you were about to make, do me one favor and hit subscribe, because the next video is the one that matters even more. Once you're past 73, the required withdrawals kick in and start forcing these decisions for you, whether you've planned for them or not. That video breaks down exactly how to handle them, and it's up next. Okay, now the numbers. The moment I promised you. Same money, 2 endings. Meet Jim and Susan, both 64, both retired, and they've decided to convert $25,000 a year from their traditional IRA into a Roth to get ahead of it. Sensible plan. Version 1. They check the withholding box. Roughly $6,000 of every $25,000 vanishes to tax before it ever gets to grow. Do that for 10 years, and it's not just $60,000 of contributions gone from the Roth. It's all the tax-free growth those dollars would have thrown off for the rest of their lives. Version 2. Same $25,000 a year, same tax bill, but they pay it from their cash savings and leave the box unchecked. Now the full amount compounds tax-free year after year. Same couple, same conversions, same tax paid. The only difference is which pocket the tax came out of. And over the years, that one choice is worth somewhere north of $50,000 to them in retirement. Same money, different pocket. That's the whole game. So here's what I want you to walk away with. The tax on a Roth conversion is coming either way. That was never the question. The only question is which pocket it comes from. Pay it from cash, keep every converted dollar working, and check the traffic light before you convert a thing. Get that right, and you've bought yourself something worth more than the money. A pile of savings the taxman can never touch again, and one less thing to worry about for the rest of your life. You've probably done more things right with your money than you give yourself credit for. This is just one more. Small, deliberate, and quietly worth a fortune. One honest note before you go. This is general education, not personal tax advice. Your bracket, your Medicare situation, and this year's thresholds are specific to you, so run your own numbers or talk to a tax pro before you convert.